Travis went good still. Russ is going to be over when he gets his laundry put in. I have to make an order on Amazon. So I'll wait to do the lawsuit videos with you. I'll have you in on what I'm doing before I do a video on reading them in the final draft form. So that's coming. This one, with the short time that I have, remember when Trump suggested you inject yourself with disinfectants, drink bleach? Remember when Trump wanted you to take the hydroxychloroquine drug? And then he himself said, oh yeah, I'm taking it. Oh, I'm preventing coronavirus by taking it. There were a majority of you, even Trump supporters, who did not take it. You did not drink bleach. You did not take hydroxychloroquine, even for preventing coronavirus. Why not? Your Lord and Master gave you an order. Don't you believe him? Don't you trust in him? You believe and trust everything else he says, but when it came to giving orders for your life, all of a sudden you're like, but then you're right back into, yeah, when it's dealing with other people. Those of us who know Trump for what he is now look at you and just, we're like, dear God, this is what the American Second Civil War under martial law is all about? The brutish bullying of white supremacy to murder and destroy Americans. And so then all those who support Trump, who want us to take hydroxychloroquine, Governor Herbert, who got busted for purchasing $800,000 worth of the drug, and then when it was released that it actually kills people, he had to explain, I don't know what happened, we're going to investigate, find out who in my administration gave the order to purchase it with my signature. We now know Herbert. He's a loyalist to Trump. He hates Utahns. He doesn't give a damn about us. He wants us dead too. He's purposely been covering up the stats on coronavirus. He's here. I'll have to redo this video. Maybe I can do a patchwork video. You guys gonna let me get away with that? So, Herbert. We know Herbert. We know Trump. He's trying to kill us. We know Herbert. He's trying to kill Utahns. Gee, everybody's out to kill us. Now you know what I've been going through. See, they're not targeting blacks. Blacks don't support Trump. Maybe that one guy that was paid to be behind Trump in his rallies, but blacks generally don't support Trump. They aren't going to be taking bleach. They're not going to be taking hydroxychloroquine. And so again in Utah, what percentage are blacks in Utah? We might be up to 1%. Might. But yeah, we're up at a high 94, 96% white population in Utah. Don't be fooled by those who you see that are color. This percentage is very low. And I've witnessed Mormons, when a black Mormon comes to church for the first time, Everybody runs to greet him. Hey, how you doing? Have you heard of the Genesis group downtown Salt Lake? Yeah. We're not racist. We have black friends that we chase to the Genesis group, where they belong. But Herbert says, oh, we don't have a racist problem here in Utah. It's only elsewhere in the nation. What a pathetic racist. So Nelson. Yeah, Nelson too. Mr. White Supremacist. You do recall, and you don't, obviously, because you'd have to be following me this whole time on my old channel and into this one where I did the revision of it, because somebody went on my old channel during this lawsuit time and had YouTube pull it down for inciting violence. Really? Oaks is inciting violence in the video, and I'm being accused of inciting violence? Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure the church must have been involved in that process. But yeah, Oaks, in the conference in 2018, gives the Heil Hitler salute to the Aaronic priesthood in the choir seats. And I caught it, and I exposed it. And then the very next day, the very next conference, he almost does it, and then grabs the hand and does this kind of crap. Literally, he does this. I caught him. I busted him. That's how influential I was on my old channel. That's why it was necessary to get that one shut down by the church. And then my website. Oh, I had fun on my website. You used to be able to Google Travis Wayne Goodsell and see all of the pictures I created on my website. And so yeah, Nelson too. They're all white supremacists. They're all doing the white silence thing. I think I uploaded that video. Yeah, I had to watch Avengers on this computer because commercials on this one. Why? It's the same service for Xfinity. Why no commercials? Commercials. I don't want commercials. I want no commercials. But no, why? It just doesn't make sense. But anyway, so I had breakfast and then crashed. 6 hours of sleep was not sufficient, and I don't understand it. If 6 hours is not enough for my body to handle, why is my body waking me up in 6 hours? Anyway. Yeah. Nelson. Oh, screw science. I'm a man of faith. And we're going to have a coronavirus fast on Good Friday. Remember that? That was the second one. The first one bombed big time. Nope, he wanted a second one. So now we know Nelson. They're all trying to have us murdered. Nelson's opening up the church. Herbert's opening up Utah. And Mormons all over the place without masks. As all the doctors are like screaming, "What are you doing? You dummies! We had you stay home and stay safe." Remember, that was Herbert's thing. When there wasn't an outbreak yet. It was in the beginning stages. Let's go back to the first time that I started keeping records in Utah on coronavirus. April 1st. We only had 1,000 cases. 1,012 cases. That was on a Wednesday. And only 20,000 were tested. 20,155 were tested. And 91 were in the hospital. 7 had died to that point. And that was sufficient for Governor Herbert to issue the stay home, stay safe. So now, when Governor Herbert lifted it on May 1st, he started opening up businesses. We now had, at that point, 4,828 cases. We had just added 156 for that day. And we now had 112,558 tested. And they were testing 4,051 on that reporting day period. 403 were now hospitalized, and 46 were now dead. You know, there's a quota in Utah. You have to have a certain number of dead before you actually do things to fix the problem. And 46 dead did not meet that quota standard in Utah. And so, when was it? The 15th? The 15th, he started downgrading. On that day, it was reported 6,913 cases, up 161 for that reporting day period. That's 8 more than May 1st. And there were 163,218 that had been tested. 566 were hospitalized, 8 were added, and 77 were now dead. An additional 2 on that day. And so here we are on the Saturday, which was 30th. So let's go back to May. So the 30th of May, when Governor Herbert downgraded West Valley City, Salt Lake City, just in time for the protest riots, the expression of our First Amendment rights, which Governor Herbert came in to squash and has arrested so many people and is crushing the rebellion, a term used from Star Trek, or Star Wars actually, crushing the rebellious forces, the Sith Lords, Emperor. So on the 30th of May, 9,533 Utahns were tested as having coronavirus. We're at 210,105. Still not at 10% yet, are we? Still way below 10% tested. But 763 were now hospitalized. That was an increase of 10 on that day. And 112 Mormons, Utah Mormons, dead. An additional 5 on that day. We had a huge uptake. And it just keeps rising. And Governor Herbert keeps denying, blaming you guys. Do you not see the pattern here? These leaders who you've cheered, yeah, kill blacks, kill the poor, kill women. These guys are killing you too. They don't discriminate. They kill everybody. And yet you still trust them. You still give your loyalty to them. And they're murdering you. And you're giving loyalty to them when you now no longer have faith. It's dormant. Remember the Book of Mormon? Faith is dormant once you have a knowledge producing fruit from a seed. But no, you'd rather believe in read, ponder, pray, and have those warm, fuzzy feelings, and call it truth. So you don't need to do the work of research and study and planting seed to produce the trees with fruit so that you can live. You'd rather remain in ignorance and death. It's not complicated. It's real simple. I choose life. Apparently you guys choose death.